Horton Hears a who in the jungle of Newell on a hot sunny day. Gentle Horton, the elephant, splashed happily in the cool pool. His big ears flapped as he listened to the buzzing insects and singing birds. Suddenly, Horton heard a sound so faint, so tiny that no one else noticed. It was like a faint cry for help. What could that be? Horton wondered. He raised his trunk and spotted a tiny speck of dust floating through the air. Carefully, Horton caught the speck on a soft pink clover. Why? There must be someone on this speck. Some very small person in need of help, Horton said. Meeting the who's, Horton spoke kindly to the speck. To his surprise, a tiny voice answered. Thank you, kind elephant, the voice said. We are the who's, and we live in the city of Whoville, here on this speck. We may be small, but we are people too. Please keep us safe. Horton's eyes grew wide. Of course I will. I'll guard this clover with my life. After all, a person's a person, no matter how small. The other animals laugh. But when the other animals in the jungle saw Horton talking to a flower, they burst out laughing. Horton is crazy, they cried. There's no one on that clover. It's just a speck of dust. The kangaroo thumped her tail. Stop this nonsense at once, she ordered. There are no people that small. But Horton stood firm. You may not see them or hear them, but they are real. I will protect them because they need me. Trouble in the jungle, the mean monkeys, the Wickersham brothers, wanted to prove Horton wrong. They snatched the clover from his trunk and tossed it back and forth. Stop! You'll hurt the who's, cried Horton, chasing after them. Then the sour kangaroo grabbed the clover and handed it to a black-bottomed eagle named Vladivladi. With a wicked grin, the eagle flew high into the sky and dropped the clover into a huge field filled with millions of other clovers. Oh no, Horton groaned. But he never gave up. Horton searched through the clover field, one flower, then another, then another. Thousands and thousands of clovers he checked. At last, after a long, hard search, Horton heard the faint voices again. Here we are, Horton. We're safe. Horton picked up the right clover gently and tucked it close to his heart. The who's speak up, but the other animals still refused to believe him. Show us these who's or we'll destroy that clover, they threatened. Horton turned to Whoville. You must make yourselves heard. Shout, sing, bang. Pots make as much noise as you can. And so the who's did. They rang bells, blew trumpets, and shouted with all their might. But still, the animals in the jungle shook their heads. They're not loud enough, Horton said anxiously. Everyone must help. Every who counts. At last, a small boy named Jojo, who had been silent, gave one mighty Y-O-P. That final sound tipped the balance. The animals' ears perked up, and at last they heard the who's. Respect at last, the sour kangaroo gasped. They are real. The other animals hung their heads. We were wrong, Horton. The who's exist, and they are people, no matter how small. From then on, the jungle animals promised to protect Whoville too. Horton smiled proudly, happy that both big and small could live together in peace. Moral: a person's a person, no matter how small. Every voice matters, no matter its size.